Soulslikes from Gamescom. I am Seth Macy. I am joined by His Majesty's treasure straight from the United Kingdom, Matt Purslow. How you doing, Matt?
I'm good, thank you, Seth. How are you?
I'm wonderful. You just saw Lies of P. Everybody wants to know, how Bloodborne-y is Lies of P?
I mean, so it's set in this beautiful city called Krat, and it is very Bloodborne in its aesthetic. Lots of all of those very ornate sort of buildings, beautiful statues, and a lot of that Victorian horror vibe going on.
All right,
which is good. The enemies, so we've seen new enemies this week at Gamescom.
Like what?
Which is very cool. So obviously puppets are the big deal because it's based on Pinocchio, but these ones were very almost like marionettes, like they've got golden strings that come like out of the sky, these magical strings. But then this giant half-woman marionette, half-spider freak.
Oh, cool, I
that
hate that.
Just came charging down a corridor at me. Very luckily, I've got shit tons of weapons in my inventory to use against them. And that's, I think, where it's standing out from Bloodborne in that vibe. Bloodborne has a very specific set of weapons, like probably the smallest range in the Souls sort of games. They gave me so many weapons in my inventory to try out. Obviously, you wanted to know what sort of style I was into. I'm very much into kind of like the dex builds, a lot faster. Yeah. But it's the heavy weapons that really stood out to me. Okay. Massive kind of circular saw on a big pole, a huge wrench, a kind of a massive fire axe that sets things on fire. Oh man! I had a sort of lance that got acid in the tip of it. Hell yeah! There was so much, like there's so much kind of like environmental effects, so like setting things on fire, burning them with acid, all of those kind of effects that give it just that little bit of extra RPG. Yeah, okay, cool. Did you get a chance to take on any bosses? Yeah, so it was the King of Puppets boss. Ah, not the Master of Puppets. Ah, not the Master.
He's pulling your strings.
Of course. But yeah, the thing that I found like really interesting with this is there's almost like a sense of humor to this game that I really like. Oh, really? So when you meet this King of Puppets, he's asking you to dance. Like he stretches out his arm, and so you kind of bat him aside, and then he kind of does like this very faux kind of crying sort of element, and then proceeds to beat the absolute living crap out of you. Yeah, he's this massive robot, kind of like with a crown on, obviously. Yep. Does an awful lot of bouncing around. He's got extendable arms that spin around the arena. Oh, cool. Just absolutely knocking all like the tables over. It's in like this theater arrangement. But then when you batter him, you obviously get the fact it's a two-stage boss, as so many of these Souls-like games are. And then this guy called Romeo gets out of it, and he is so fast. Yeah. Like, so one of the stronger sort of fast-based boss fights that I've been against. Some really cool designs where he'll run around you and set fires in rings and then leap up. And then you've obviously got to do perfect parries to get out of that. Like, really impressive stuff. It just felt real good, real fluid. Yeah, really fluid. Kind of like a big sort of question that came out of the last demo was if the dodge was going to be any good. Like the dodge didn't feel
dodge
great.
Is critical. Yeah. How was it?
Absolutely. Yeah, genuinely, I think it's a little bit better. I'm not sure it's kind of like Bloodborne levels yet, but I'm definitely feeling a little bit more smoothness in that combat. And the fact that you can block as well, like whereas Bloodborne was more of a kind of like dodge and get out of the way deal. It's kind of coming together. It's a good combat system, I think. Yeah.
You talked a little bit about the weapons. Tell me about the arm.
Oh yeah, so this guy has so your Pinocchio character's got this mechanical arm that you can switch out with lots of different versions. Because the enemies in this area were weak against acid, I had this thing that literally is, you know, like the stuff that they pump the venom into Bane in Arkham Asylum? Yeah. It's like that all the way down your arm, and you can spray out acid in either like a horizontal or a vertical path. Nice. Very, very cool, and obviously when they step through it, they start taking acid damage. Yeah. And that's very cool, but I could also swap that out with a rocket launcher. Because who doesn't want a rocket launcher against a boss fight? That classic Pinocchio weapon, the rocket launcher. Absolutely, yeah. There are other ones that we've seen in other demos, like there's the puppet string, which is much more in line with the Pinocchio thing. But the rocket launcher and the acid spray are definitely my picks for this area. Oh, hell yeah. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you feel like you need to discuss? I think just the vibes, man. Like good vibes. Good vibes and real good fashion. Some of the best coats that I've seen since like Assassin's Creed Unity. Really beautiful long coats with that velvety touch. Oh, very good stuff. I love a good velvety touch. That's awesome. So that was Lies of P. You checked it out. Yeah. Good times. All right, cool. We are here on the floor of Gamescom. We're here for the rest of the week. So for all of this and so much more, make sure to keep it right here on IGN.